And how far do you think the US, and I know you have a vote in about 10 minutes or so, so I'll be quick, but how far do you think the US should and will go in defending Taiwan? Do you think Taiwan is just a lost cause right now and it will be part of China? However, what we're discussing is not whether, but on what terms will the US agree to let China, invade Taiwan, for lack of a better term?
So I do not think Taiwan is a lost cause at all. And I would put forward a couple reasons why. First, the PLA is not at this point equipped to do an amphibious assault that has to cross the strait, land on a beach, go over the mountains, and then engage in urban warfare. That's hard. That is really hard to do. I don't care how big your army is. The Chinese Navy hasn't won an engagement since the 14th century. So we're not talking about a military that actually has any real wins under its belt. You're 100% right, Mario, that they're building, I think, 70% of the world's ships and like 98% of the world's containers and a super majority of the world's port infrastructure. Well. Yeah, no, it's like they are outbuilding us on every single facet. Don't get me wrong, and it's a real problem, and we need a domestic shipbuilding industry, and actually that could be a bipartisan area of focus with Trump. But it's one thing to build the ships, it's the other thing to use them to engage in a shooting battle. And that's a hard task. The PLA is not ready. The PLA Navy is not ready to do it, and they've been riven through with corruption. The second is that the Taiwanese are taking increasingly seriously their obligations to self-defense. They've extended their term limits for mandatory enrollment in the armed forces there from 4 months to a year. And you're seeing broad-based civil society support for the concept of defense in depth, that they have to be what they call a porcupine, where it's just indigestible. What they have to do next, though, is they have to make themselves not just indigestible, but also unsuffocatable, because they import Taiwan something like 90% of their energy and like 60% of their food. That is a real problem for an island, right? Because you could see the Chinese Navy, maybe they're not ready to do an invasion, but they could do a blockade.
Choke them off.
Choke them off. So, but we can't, the United States needs to maintain a strategic ambiguity posture. We need to continue to arm Taiwan as we have, and we need to continue to help Taiwan help itself, because we have about a 10-year of a danger window. I think if we can get through that 10-year danger window of Xi Jinping's rest of his term, you might see the CCP moderate on its maximalist position regarding Taiwan.